So the eyebrows are gone, but this morning, yesterday later, did a beautiful job. And then Lean later, jumping at very late this morning to do my nails. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to those. Nobody provided the wardrobe. And well, the wardrobe belongs to all me. And enough of us having a banana tree house in the catering. If she's now a choice, she just, she just has to jump in to do what she has to. And Carlos, who is doing this for us. And my brother, Carlos is hiding, but just feature him a little bit. Because he's the one who kind of did a little renovation and the fixing for us. And still has some more work to do, but it's got to a space where we could at least have today and move in. So Edgar, thank you. And my brother Barry, you saw him doing all the last minute carry-ons. And Brenda, who doesn't know what to do with me at brighter days, but she's like my banker, my everything. So, Tania, all yours.
I'm not sure if you have to go with something.
Yeah, no, I don't share
Most people don't thank, right? No, I will then do that to the floor. It has been quite an interesting day, right? Everybody is quite smiling. So let me begin by giving thanks to Almighty God for this day and for His blessings. And I join the psalmist David and say, oh, give thanks unto the Lord for His goodness and for His wonderful works towards the children of men. Indeed, God is good. Amen? Amen. On behalf of Dr. Henry and the rest of the staff of the team, we want to extend our gratitude for Father Grandpa John for accepting our invitation to bless this building and for your words of encouragement. We can give us we say thanks to Mr. Williams for giving us a brief history of Mr. Henry and the family we will have grown to love. So we give thanks to Mr. Williams. We say special thanks to Pamela Gibbs for being there for. And thanks for the media for joining us. And last but not least, we want to say thanks to all the family members, the workers, the colleagues, everyone who joined with ensuring that this building was ready today. We give thanks to you for your tireless efforts. And once again, we say thanks for your attendance. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. Thank you for attending and thanks for your attention. Again, a big thank you.
Wonderful. So we have a little refreshment upstairs, so you can come and see upstairs, and the little work that has been done, and where my office will be, and office. And Mr. Williams had told me, he didn't want any major roles. So when this one I think, I said, I know you said you didn't want any major roles. I just said, well, he said, well, I said, I know. Yes, indeed. Oh, yes. Yes. And so my viewers online, those of you who are for the YouTube channel, for VFLink's Facebook and Banner's Facebook, we so thank you for joining us. We know you've been doing so many things, but today we are happy that you've joined us and to be part of our celebration, a celebration of life, but a celebration of God's goodness. And that's one of the things I always say, that God's goodness truly follows up. Like every morning as I go to YouTube, that's the first song that plays by Tasha comes on my phone. God's goodness, is goodness of God, what follows me or watches over me, something to that effect. But you all know this. And yes, and indeed it is. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter what's happening. Good times or bad times, if we stop and think of it, there are always blessings. And while I was sat on my room and Carlos goes upstairs, I'm going to get into zoning. One of our PCWS women, Mrs. Jane Cornelius from Portsmouth, she writes poems, and Mrs. Cornelius is always writing poems for me. And she had laminated 2 poems and brought them to my office. And we had them at the other office. And when I was packing up, I picked them up and I was reading. And there is one in particular that really kind of speaks to me and even the things I was going. And she said, so part of what she says is that even if you're going through difficulties, somehow you don't get daunted by it and give up hope. You still find hope. And I actually wrote and said, like the words of your of these poems are now coming back to strengthen and encourage me. And so I stuck them up on the wall. So Carlos, when you go up, you'll zone in on those 2 poems by Mrs. Cornelius. You know, and so that's that. So yes, 14 years, we know what COVID came and did, but here we are celebrating our returning to a physical office, a return to a new office. Isn't that God's goodness? We are in good health, and we have our bankers right here, and they are and my family, friends, who have joined us. What more can I do last time? And here's my little neighbors right here, my precious, most preciousness of them all, God's goodness. So we are going to up to the refreshments, and we are going to Milo because the bankers want to see what office looks like.